Let's bring in retired FBI Special Agent Maureen O'Connell, criminal defense attorney and federal litigator Vic Bajaj, and criminal defense attorney and host of the weekly Rap Sheet on Fox Nation, Josh Ritter. Thank you all for coming on. Maureen, to you first. I want to play some sound. This is a forensic expert, Cheryl McCollum, on the DNA on the glove. She said this.
We already know there's unknown DNA inside the house. If you look at the flowers, where he manipulates the flowers and then comes back to the camera, he's got the mouth light in his mouth. Well, don't you think he had to take that out of his mouth to give Miss Guthrie some type of command? Right. That means his DNA is on the outside of that glove.
It's a very good theory that, you grab that and there's saliva on there and some DNA. The question, Maureen, for everybody is, you got to match it to somebody.
We got to match it to someone or do forensic genetic genealogy. But Cheryl's right, and she's a good friend of mine, and she's a great crime scene person. When you have something in your mouth, anything in your mouth like that, even a mouth guard, your mouth really waters a lot. And if you're putting the light in and taking it out, you're getting saliva all over your hands. It's very easy to transfer that to almost any surface within that home. So that's a really good lead.
Yeah, and then you got to run it through the CODIS, right? The FBI system, which stands for Combined DNA Index System, Vic Bajaj. And it only has, there's a lot of criminals in the country, but it's only a small portion of the population, 6 to 7%. If it's not in there, you're kind of back to square one.
Well, in order for you to have a hit, you have to have a criminal who was convicted and booked into their fingerprints, their DNA swabs in the system. If you don't have that, or if you have someone, let's say, from Mexico who came here specifically to engage in some sort of a criminal action or actions, you're not going to have that hit. But as Maureen pointed out, the important thing is the genealogy. So you can now find other portions of that DNA that could be related to characteristics such as family members. Why is that so important? It's not as though they're going to knock on those relatives' doors right away, but they may, as Maureen will be familiar with as a former FBI agent, tickle the wire. If they know they're getting close, they may make calls or contacts or detentions with people they believe are involved in the crime to see who they contact to report to. And that task of tickling the wire is something we've seen by implication as this case has moved on.
Now to the other big news. Josh Ritter, come in on this. Pima County Sheriff said this, quoting here, "To be clear, the Guthrie family, to include all siblings and spouses, has been cleared as possible suspects in this case." That, according to the Pima County Sheriff's Department, Josh Ritter, it is a big statement. We were out there, you and I, last week talking about this very thing. They kept going back to Annie Guthrie's house, and that neighborhood kept going back. Now they're like, they're cleared. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it is a big statement, and I've not been a fan of the communication coming from the Sheriff's Department thus far. I think that there's been a lot of miscommunication, some things that they've had to walk back, and then they've kind of cut us off. They've turned off the tap when it comes to giving press conferences. And listen, they don't owe anything to the media. They don't owe anything to the public. The only thing that they owe is to try to do their best to try to find Nancy. But when you have the family not only living with this nightmare of what's happened to their mother, but then there's this online gossip that's being stirred up, partially in part of the ambiguous statements being made by the Sheriff's Department initially, it's good that he cleared this up. Hopefully, then we can all put this aside. Resources cannot be wasted on it, and we can move forward trying to find the actual perpetrators of this crime.
Yeah, Maureen, your thoughts on the family being cleared?
It was the most decisive thing I've heard come out of the communications from this trial, from the Sheriff's Department. So I liked, decisive action and behavior. I just don't know how you're going to clear anyone unless you've got someone charged and tried and convicted.
Yeah. Vic Bajaj, to you. Here's what CBS said about the crime. It got a lot of notoriety. Watch.
We can now report investigators now believe this was a burglary gone wrong. We've interviewed multiple experts since this began who also said, based on the evidence, the surveillance video, and other aspects of this case, that they also believed this was not an intended kidnapping. The widespread belief by investigators tonight is that Nancy Guthrie could be alive.
Yeah. Pima County saying, didn't come from us, Vic.
Well, that's right. And this is a very confusing thing to put out there. But I think what Pima County is saying is don't waste our time anymore with red herrings. We've had at least a number of them, an indictment out of a resident of California for a hoax ransom letter. I don't put much stock in the ransom letter at this point in time, merely because of the fact that we've had deadlines come and go with really no consequences. So I think what the Pima County Sheriff's Department and what the FBI is saying is, hey, let us do our jobs and let's not inundate all of the channels with comparison pictures of, let's say, for instance, the son-in-law.
Yeah. Burglary gone wrong, Josh Ritter. Final thoughts?
Well, he obviously came there with bad intentions. He's wearing a mask. He's got gloves on. He's got a backpack. He's got a gun. He came there to commit some sort of a crime, likely a crime involving some sort of violence. Whether or not that was a burglary, whether or not that was an intended kidnapping, I think the point here is that it may not have been for the sole purpose of abducting Nancy Guthrie. It may have been for some other purpose, and that went wrong. But it's, you know, at this point, I think it's something that is a distraction and maybe getting too caught in the weeds when we should be focused on trying to find her or the person who did this.
Josh Ritter, Vic Bajaj, Maureen O'Connell, thank you all.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.